What's going on, guys? Carrionosa here, and in today's video, I want to talk about the situation that's been unfolding between Nightman and the Red Empire. Before I get into it, I want to explain why I think I can speak on this topic. I was close to both sides throughout a lot of what happened. I was a former member of the Red Empire dating back to when they were still called Iron Wolf Clan mid-2025, and I've known Nightman since Classic WoW back in 2020 COVID. I spent years around both groups, so this isn't me reacting to something I read on social media. This is my perspective from me being there. I also want to make something very clear before we continue. I do not condone racism, and I do not support it in any form. With that out the way, here's how everything unfolded from my point of view. Around 3 or 4 months ago, Most Wanted and the Red Empire were actually on good terms. You can go back and watch older videos of Nightman raiding Stormwind with trade members, videos of Dirt and I playing together while I was still in the guild, and plenty of moments where members from both communities were hanging out together. At the time, everything seemed peaceful. Then everything changed after Trey decided to crash a dueling tournament hosted by Most Wanted. I was there that day. To be honest, I didn't even know what we were crashing. Poppy Poon was telling people in guild chat to join the raid or risk getting G kicked, so I joined like everyone else. We weren't told it was Nightman's event. I only found out after we got there. After everything happened, I reached out to Nightman and apologized because I genuinely had no idea that was even planned. After that, things seemed to have calmed down for about a month. I'd still see members from both communities talking in the Night Slayer Discord, so honestly, I thought the situation had blown over. Then things escalated. Hundo publicly accused Nightman of being a racist. That caught me completely off guard because I'd known Nightman for years and had never personally experienced or witnessed that from him. Naturally, the first thing I did was ask for proof. At this time, I was told there was evidence. The only thing I personally ended up seeing were screenshots of people from Trey entering the Most Wanted Discord and spamming racial slurs, along with screenshots showing Nightman making violent threats after someone posted a picture of his girlfriend. Nightman messaged me in regards to what happened on the Night Slayer Discord. I explained to him that I was mutual friends with both him and Trey throughout the entire situation. I told him I didn't want to speak on it because I didn't fully understand everything that was happening. I also warned him that they were trying to rage bait him into giving them the exact reaction they were looking for. Whether someone agrees with how he responded or not, I think it's important to acknowledge that people don't always react rationally when their family or loved ones become targets online. Around the same time, I also received messages from Venom Thread claiming that false rumors were being spread about Nightman. Between everything I was seeing and everything that was happening inside the guild, I started questioning whether I wanted to stay. Looking back, there were already red flags. There was constant use of racial slurs inside the guild Discord. There were also plenty of times where people I knew, including ones of my real life friends, were disrespected for no reason. At one point, Poppy Putin also stated in guild Discord that members who didn't support Trey's position on Nightman could be G-kicked. That was one of several reasons I eventually decided to leave, along with other reasons I've already talked about in a previous video. After that, the conflict only became more public. From my perspective, it felt like the Night Slayer Discord became consumed by the drama. Every day there were AI memes about Nightman, arguments between both communities, and people getting banned because they were associated with one side or the other. Now, I'm not telling anyone how they should run their own Discord server. If it's your server, that's your decision. But if you're running a community server with tens of thousands of members, I personally think it should be a place for a community, not a place where ongoing guild drama dominates every conversation. Now I want to answer some of the questions I've been getting. Was the Red Empire racist? I don't believe every single member of Trey was racist. A lot of people were like me. They joined because it was one of the biggest guilds on the server. They enjoyed world PvP. They wanted raid groups, and they had friends there. At the same time, based on what I personally witnessed, I do believe there were people in the guild who were openly using racial slurs and engaging in behavior that I wasn't comfortable with. That's part of why I left. Why did I stay so long? Honestly, because the guild gave me everything I wanted in-game. There was world PvP. There were active raid groups. There were always people online. I convinced myself those positives outweighed the negatives. Looking back, I think I stayed much longer than I should have. Why didn't you just leave sooner? Part of it was practical. Finding a raid spot as a rogue isn't always easy. The other part was personal. I built friendship there. I genuinely believe those friendships meant something. Seeing how quickly people turned against me after I left made me realize I was wrong about that. If you knew something about this, why didn't you speak up earlier? Honestly, I didn't think anyone would listen. Trey had a massive presence on the Night Slayer Discord. I felt like if I made a video, nobody would care and I'd become the next target. So I stayed quiet. Looking back, I don't think staying silent helped anyone. I've talked about racism in game before. I've had discussions removed from Facebook, Reddit, and the WoW forums. I've dealt with racism myself in online games for years, so this topic isn't something I take lightly. At the end of the day, this video isn't about attacking one person or defending another. It's simply my perspective from someone who knew both sides and watched this situation unfold. I'm sure there are people who disagree with me, and that's okay. I'm just sharing what I personally experienced. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Have you ever been caught in the middle of a community drama like this? Leave your thoughts down in a comment.